Hello and welcome to the Dairy Hollow Chinwag, brought to you by the Writers Colony at Dairy Hollow. We're a nonprofit residency program for writers located in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. We have 8 suites in 2 different buildings and offer residencies of any length. And our goal is to provide uninterrupted writing time for writers of all genres and backgrounds. Today, we're talking to one of our former writers in residence, Brittany Crosse. She is a Lewis University graduate with a BA in English and a concentration in writing. She dabbles in a variety of genres, from reviews to poetry and prose. And we're so excited to hear more of her work today. So thank you for joining me, Brittany. To get us started, would you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Uh, uh, Thank you for having me. I'm a writer from the Chicago suburbs. Us, more more specifically of the southwest suburbs. And I've always been interested in reading and writing ever since I was a child. Uh, but but now I'm really starting to get more interested in writing, to the point that I'm considering it as a career. And I've the past month I've been applying to various MFA programs. And I will be applying to the pun in Arkansas soon. So and from what I know, that's a it's about an hour drive or so from Eureka Springs, of which I would really like to return to at some point.
We would love to have you back at some point. So tell me a little bit more about what you write and what inspires your writing.
I write mainly speculative short stories and flash fiction. And I try to try to find inspiration in just about anything. Whether it's another short story, or just the or just in the world around me.
Well, I'm excited to hear some of that writing in a little bit. I love speculative fiction, so that's especially exciting for me. So how did being at Dairy Hollow affect your writing while you were in residence there?
I really liked uh just coming from such a busy suburb. Uh, I really enjoy having just having the peace and quiet to really uh focus on my writing, and not, when for the most part, not having to worry about meals, or taking care of my dog. Just on my really liked like like the freedom to just just that it was a go at your own pace kind of thing.
I think freedom is a really good word. I've done so many residencies there, and I also felt that sense of freedom to just work. Well, for the next and final thing I'd like to ask you, would you tell us a little bit about what you'll be reading for us today?
Sure. This piece I wrote primarily at Eureka Springs. It's at Dairy Hollow. Uh, it's a dark comedy short story about a 40-year-old amusement park mascot, who after after realizing that his mascot is no longer the most popular decides to eliminate his competition, and uh and the amusement park itself is like is kind of like a play on Six Flags, and and so because and the story is inspired by like various events of various recent events, such as COVID. It's called 6 feet. So I'll be reading a short expert. So I'll be reading a short excerpt from that. Our reputation was an outstanding one, in that none of our rides had ever broken down in the park's near decade history. This was because 6 feet promised its guests safety first, and a chaotically good time second. Two years ago, there'd been a death at Brave New World, a rival park in Little Rock. While riding the Great Gatsby, a middle-aged guest had tumbled from his Dijon mustard Rolls Royce and onto the tracks, where he was promptly crushed to death. Wanting to capitalize on this tragedy, Carmen Foote had made a commercial before the victim's name was revealed to the public. In it, she went around the park asking guests and employees what they liked the most about 6 feet, and also whether they felt safe when riding its various attractions. When asked why exactly he felt safe, and an interviewee wearing a Lysol Lizzie hat had said, unprompted, "Because no one dies here," and he'd been right. The worst injury a guest could expect to receive was intestinal distress from the diesel dogs. This quickly became another one of our mottos, of which there were so many it was hard to keep track. No one dies at 6 feet amusement park, because, let's be honest, enough terrible things had happened during the decade that inspired our lovely park. Carmen Foote had said at the end of the commercial, as Vaccine Vicky and I TikTok danced in the background. Just because our attractions are themed after various disasters from the 20s doesn't mean that these two have to be disastrous.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I would love to read more of that now. I'm very intrigued. Well,
Yeah.
Brittany, it has been a delight having you join us today, and I wish you success in your MFA applications and hope you have a great winter.